One more video that I want to respond to, and then we're gonna get in some articles, and I'll probably get on Ninja Gaiden. I got another video I'm gonna respond to because y'all love when I respond to streams. This one hit my For You page, and I said, oh man, we gotta talk about this one on stream. It comes from creator Pooty Plays. That's a crazy name. But y'all know how I rock. I'm just attacking the argument, not the creator. I don't know them personally. We're keeping it gaming, so don't be going and bothering people. This video was very interesting. He pleads to Activision to stop apologizing to the people. I'm gonna let him make his argument.
Well, apologizing to Call of Duty fans, basically saying we're sorry for making you play bullshit throughout the years. Here's a free weekend. We're gonna try to do things different. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with Activision. Stop.
If you don't know what he's talking about, if you haven't been following the gaming space, Black Ops 7 sales are in the toilet, and they're in such bad shape that Activision released a statement apologizing, saying we're going to work on the game and make sure it's better. We're going to take our time. They also announced they're not going to put out any more back-to-back Black Ops or back-to-back Modern Warfares, and they did a free weekend. So they're basically trying to get in the good graces of the fan base. That's what he's referencing.
This bitch ass shit. Stop trying to appease these motherfuckers. For the first time
this video
since BO3, y'all drop a quality product, and now y'all want to apologize for making good fucking shit. Nigga, you ain't apologize when you drop IW. You ain't apologize when you drop World War II. Now you want to apologize when you drop a quality product. Nigga, get this bitch ass shit out of here, man.
So here's the problem. And this kind of goes back to what I was just saying like 5 minutes ago. I don't know what it is about gamers, but a lot of them, you have like this very self-centered opinion. You are allowed to like Black Ops 7. I'm not saying that. But the general consensus seems to be that Black Ops 7 is not up to the quality of what the Call of Duty community wants, and also the greater community as a whole. And that's why the sales are in the toilet. You can play it, you can enjoy it, but you don't get to dictate how other people feel about the game. I feel like that's a really weird argument.
Everybody that is good at COD is fucking with this game. This is a good ass game. This is for the, I don't know what.
You can't say everybody who's playing it is fucking with the game. Like the sales are down. Like the numbers say otherwise. That's why they're apologizing.
The fuck y'all were doing in the studio, but y'all made peak. Please do not change it up.
That's a great way of putting it, Zero. He said you can like bad games, but you also have to understand that the majority don't like it. Exactly. An example of like a bad game that I always say is the Technomancer. I like the Technomancer because I like the world that they crafted and I saw the potential in it, but I can also recognize that it's not a good game. It's like a 6 out of 10 that was very buggy and the combat system wasn't the most fleshed out. But I'm not going to sit up there and be like, yo, y'all need to not apologize. No, the game needed to be better.
Like, what, you want to change shit up when motherfuckers actually like your product? Like, come on, man. Yo, stop with this bitch ass shit. The niggas who left the battlefield, fuck them. You don't need.
Damn, bro. What you say fuck me for, bro? We've been on that battle. What you say? Fuck what I do, bro? Hold on. There was something he said I wanted to rebuttal.
You want to change shit up when motherfuckers actually like your product?
They don't like it. That's why the sales are down.
Like, come on, man. Yo, stop with this bitch ass shit. The niggas who left the battlefield, fuck them. You don't need.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. He said you're gonna stop listening when people like the product. They don't. That's why the sales are down. And also, this is the first and probably the last time they're ever going to listen to y'all because the data says otherwise. For those who didn't see the article, there's an article that also came out last week. They've been sneaking skill-based matchmaking back into the game. Now, for those who hate skill-based matchmaking and don't understand why Activision does it, according to their research and their data, they were putting it in their game because they found that the average player, the person who works the 9 to 5, enjoys Call of Duty for longer times. They play longer when there's skill-based matchmaking, because skill-based matchmaking puts you against people of a similar level. And I'm not saying it's perfect, but I've always argued the main people who hate skill-based matchmaking is sweats. And that's why it should stay in the game, because even sweats don't even want to play with sweats. And that's why they want to remove skill-based matchmaking. But when you remove it, the only people it benefits is sweats. But then the sweats are in our lobbies and they're ruining our game. If you don't want to play with them, then why would I want to play with you? Now, I say all that to say this. They removed skill-based matchmaking in Black Ops 7 for like the first week. And what they found in the data, and they announced this is not me making this up, they found that people were playing less. So what you have is the sales are down, the player retention is down, and they listen to you guys. That says to me, the people that love this game don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Because at the end of the day, you have to also understand this is a corporation and they got to make money.
You got us now, man. The game is at
He said you got us. You bought the game though. You already bought the game. They're not. They got you, bro. They don't need your money. They got it real easy. They didn't have to work for it because the product is bad and you still bought it. The problem is the dollar that they need to earn, they can't get it. So why would they be worried about you? It's given main character syndrome.
Best. Now, do not switch it up, man. I'll catch you guys in the comment section. Let me know what
if they don't switch it up. So the sales are terrible. They're getting their ass whooped. For those unaware, Battlefield 6 is the best-selling game of the year at 10 million copies right now. Keep in mind, Battlefield just came out a month ago. It sold 10 million copies. Got it. They're getting their ass beat by that and Arc Raiders. And I'm not going to lie. I'm going to go as far as to say this is an example of why everybody doesn't need to have an opinion. Because, like I said, this is a corporation. They have to make money. And I'm going to be 100% honest. You're not going to like what I have to say. But if they listen to your advice, because keep in mind, sales are down and player retention is down. And also keep in mind, Microsoft paid for Activision. They paid billions of dollars. They got to make their money back for that. So numbers are down across the board. And you're telling them, stay the course, stay the course, stay the course. I know you keep hitting your head against this wall and you're not breaking through, but stay the course. Do you know what happens if they listen to your advice instead of improving the game and generating more sales? A, there's potential for you could lose the franchise that you claim you love because this is a numbers game. If it ain't selling, eventually they'll stop making them. And B, people lose their jobs. Yes. Friendly reminder, guys, people make these games. And if the game isn't selling, how can they afford the salaries of the people who are making the product? So if they respectfully, if they listen to your advice and stop apologizing, stop trying to do better, they're going to stop generating money and they can't pay the people that make the game that you claim you love. I hope people understand this. I don't mind Call of Duty. I don't either. But I'm trying to be fair because I'm not going to call it trash. Just Call of Duty's not for me. And like, I'm just trying to help him out because it seems like he genuinely loves Call of Duty, but you don't seem to understand business. That's just not how business works. If something isn't working, you need to go the other way. And the data says that it's not working. Player retention is down. Skill-based matchmaking is a problem. There's a reason why lobbies disband. Yeah, it's not perfect. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they can't improve it, but the data does show the average 9-to-5 player plays longer. They released a whole study on this shit, and then they released an article saying that, hey, our player retention is down on Black Ops 7, and it just so happens to be the year that they removed skill-based matchmaking. Also, keep in mind, another reason we know no skill-based matchmaking is not a selling point. Guys, let's not forget X-Defiant. X-Defiant whole thing was they was beating their chest. No skill-based matchmaking. No skill-based matchmaking. No skill-based matchmaking. When the last time y'all played X-Defiant? I don't know why I did that shit. Nobody's playing. The game shut down. The game shut down. And do you know why? When there's no skill-based matchmaking, those sweats that are dropping 50 bombs in your game, they're now going to, the lobbies that they were supposed to be in, they're not going to be there. They're going to be in your lobby. And now you're coming home from your 9-to-5 and you got to deal with these people who drop 50 bombs because they don't want to go be a pro gamer. They can't actually beat the pros or whatever. I'm not saying skill-based can't be improved. I don't know what the solution is there because I don't know the technical know-hows. But what I can tell you is we do have data that shows improves in its current state right now. Skill-based matchmaking is beneficial to the majority of the gaming community. The only people it's really not beneficial to is that top 1 to 5% who want to drop a 30, 40, 50 bomb every game and get a fucking nuke. To be honest, X-Defiant was an underpolished game on top of not having. Yeah, that was a problem too. Yeah, they had hackers and shit like that, but they was really hanging their hat on that. But it proved that, bruh, let them fix the game. At bare minimum, even if this guy does, if you see this, even if you don't agree with what I'm saying, at bare minimum, another reason why they should apologize and they should improve the game is because you love the game when it's ass. Imagine if it's actually even good. No, you like the game when it's in an ass state. If they make it even better, you're going to fucking love it. So you might as well just let them make it. Because it seems like you're only arguing from a personal standpoint. So I'm trying to appease to just you. At bare minimum, if you let them make the game better, you'll love it even more. But on a real shit, they shouldn't listen to you because you're gonna get people fired, unfortunately. Oh my goodness. X Defiant killed COD and itself, a double homicide. Yo, chill. Skill-based matching data was from COD was tested on specific game mode at specific times. You said we need more data, and that's why I said it's not perfect. Maybe they need more data. What originally got you doing in the gaming news on stream, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, I've always done it. It's just what I like talking about. I'm actually like genuinely passionate about industry shit and like gaming as a whole. I like what's going on and I like talking about it. That's all. I just like yapping about the shit. Did you see the Futurama mod for Hit and Run? No, I don't know what you're talking about. Damn, I thought you was playing 33. Sucks using that thumbnail like that. I beat it already. I don't have to wait for the Game of the Year awards to tell me what's Game of the Year. I already knew it was. I played it already. It's in the thumbnail because I was talking about it earlier. If you just dial back, you would have saw that. Stop complaining, nigga. I know y'all just found out about it, but not me. The fact that Ubisoft had employees that made Expedition 33 peak, yeah, they could have had it, but Ubisoft didn't listen, bro. Ubisoft didn't listen. Without TBH, I wouldn't know none of this information. I found too that when I talk news on the stream, like it performs better. My numbers always go up, and I'm passionate about it. So the people like it. I like talking about it. It's a win-win situation. Am I gonna play the update on the content? Probably not. Like I've played enough of it, and I still ain't beat fucking the Ninja Gaiden. No, I want to get the Dispatch as well. What's your opinion on companies showing games that won't come out for like 2 years? I wish they would stop doing that shit. If your game ain't coming out next year, don't show it. I wish they would stop. Other news. Oh, this is Game Awards related. This is bad news, unfortunately. Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, which was one of my favorite announcements during the Game Awards. Apparently, this shit is not coming out for the PS5. It's not coming out for the PS6, but the PS7. This is actually a perfect segue for the person who asked that question. How you feel about games being announced too early? This is a fake game. It doesn't exist, bruh. What I guarantee you, what we saw last night, that little cutscene is all they have, and maybe some art. According to this tweet from Wario64, who's very reputable, last night's biggest surprise was Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, led by Casey Hudson, who directed KOTOR and Anthem. Exciting news for a lot of people, but Lucasfilm says the studio was founded this year, which means that 2030 is an optimistic guess. Meaning it's not even guaranteed. Maybe it'll be a PlayStation 7 game. From Jason Schreier, who works for Game Industry Biz, I believe. Oh, fucking God, bro. So don't get, we got excited, but it killed all the fucking status, bro. Wait, Casey Hudson refuted this? Hold on. Good look. 1 sec. Stop moving, chat. Well, we got an update. Wait a minute. Okay, so Casey Hudson says, don't worry about the not till 2030 rumors. Game will be out before then. I'm not getting any younger. Yeah, but I mean... Exactly. This is what I was thinking. X Factor said bet. So November 15, 2029. That doesn't guarantee that it's good he refuted it, but he still didn't refute it, really. We'll see. PS6 is supposed to come out 2027, 2028. I feel like that's best case scenario, but my gut is telling me this nigga gonna release this shit in 2029.5. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, he ain't really giving any clarity. That's fucking funny, bro. What else we got? So that's the update. Shout out to Jeff Keighley revealing shit too damn soon. Resident Evil Requiem developers reveal how much we'll play as Leon and says the survival horror action contrast is like jumping into a cold bath after a hot sauna. Shout out to the Eric V with the big raid. Appreciate you. Following the official confirmation that Leon S. Kennedy will co-star in Resident Evil Requiem, the game's developers have confirmed how much we'll be playing as the floppy hair favorite, and it's good news for fans. Speaking to Automaton, director Nakashi revealed that Requiem features nearly equal screen time between Leon and previously revealed Grace Ashcroft. In terms of gameplay, Grace and Leon's playable sections are almost equally split. The director said the game structure is similar to Resident Evil Revelations, which features both Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. So, ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like what we're getting is Resident Evil 4.5. It's almost like having two games with completely different types of tension mixed together, the director said. Early on, we worried players might not be able to keep up, but now we feel the contrast that gives the game a unique rhythm, like jumping into a cold bath after sitting in a hot sauna. And then he also says the battle this time will probably push Leon to his limits more than ever, especially because he's old. And this is a crucial part of the experience. He's the type who doesn't hesitate to sacrifice himself to save others, but he's not arrogant about it, and he is passionate and he has a passionate inner self. I hope you'll also look forward to the dry wit and the subtle sarcasm that an older guy can bring. Leon's gonna be action packed. Hey, as long as we got the kung fu kicking, it was in the trailer. That's all good. That's all good for me, bro. So I mean, yeah, for those who missed it yesterday, they announced he will be in the game, and then the director just confirmed that he will actually be a big part of the game, because a lot of people were interested, like, is this just a mission? Nah, he's a big part of the game. So Resident Evil 4 is probably my favorite one. I hate the fucking ending, but I like the game as a whole. This makes me want to play it more. I hope we just stick the landing on the ending, but we'll see. Shout out to Resident Evil. Where my handheld gamers at? Why'd you hate the ending? I don't feel like it complemented the gameplay style. I feel like the gameplay in Resident Evil 4 was a good mix of horror and action, but it didn't become too action heavy because it also had clunky like horror mechanics. So it didn't overdo it. But then the final level of the game becomes a straight out action. It becomes Call of Duty. And the problem is the game isn't designed to be like Call of Duty because he's too clunky. He moved really weird. The guns weren't like, it just wasn't fun to me. I didn't like that shit, bro. I'm like, you kind of fucked up the balance between horror and action, the pacing. He was just too stiff and it didn't move like that. It's like the game became a wannabe Gears of War. But anyways, that's just my opinion. But overall, I do like the game. I just didn't like the ending. He pulling his ACL on a kick type shit. Handheld PC maker Ayayo unveils its first phone, the Pocket Play, with a hidden controller behind it. For people who are into mobile gaming, look what we got here. We got a controller. I always said, because people be making fun of mobile games, and like mobile game graphics are good. Did y'all see Rust Mobile got announced yesterday too at the Game Awards? Visually, it looks good. That Assassin's Creed game looked good too. It's a lot of really good mobile games. It's just they still haven't figured out the controls. Handheld gaming hardware head Ayano was just unveiling its first phone. The Ayano Pocket Play is a smartphone with a sliding display that can be pushed up to reveal a D-pad, AXBY face buttons, and 2 virtual joystick touchpads. Ayayo had previously teased the gaming geared phone earlier this month. Now there's a fresh blog on of Ayayo's typically effusive style about the Pocket Play, plus a Kickstarter page. Kickstarter. However, the tech specs remain thin on the ground, so just know if you're interested in this, you're gonna have to pre-order, baby. We don't know the processor of this bad boy will end up boosting, so they don't know none of the specs. I ain't reading none of this shit, bro. You just know you're taking it with a risk. The controls are hot garbage. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. It's got touchpads. I don't understand why they don't put analog sticks, bro. I've seen some of those emulator devices. They use like a indented. It's like they put like a mound and then they put an analog stick in there so that so then when you slide the screen over, it'll cover it without hitting the analog sticks. Why are they doing touchpads? I feel like that's why the PS Vita fucked up. The good thing is they haven't developed this. So if anybody sees this from their company, yo, put analog sticks in there. If you put analog sticks in there, now we're talking, bro. It looks like the PSP Go. Yeah, the PSP Go. Yeah, it looks like that shit. The Sony Xperia back in the day. I heard that phone was, a concave. That's the word I'm looking for. My fault. Price announcement. What's the Kickstarter say? How much you gotta donate? Notify me when the launch. They said launching soon. Got 2,000 followers, so people are interested. It has a nice design. Put fucking analog sticks in here, bro. Being able to play like Call of Duty Mobile or like Mobile Street Fighter on here would be lit if you had fucking analog sticks, bro. 2 kidneys and a leg. I'm not gonna lie. I'm familiar with their handhelds. They also make competitors to the Steam Deck, and they're actually really nice. Look up the Ayanio Air, I think, but them bitches be like $1,000. So like, I would not be surprised if this phone is. They make high-end products. That's the only reason I covered this. I'm familiar with the company. If you look them up on YouTube. But yeah, that's it. That's the phone that they announced. I thought that was kind of cool. And then we got a Supergirl trailer. You know, in the midst of the Game Awards hoopla, somehow I missed the reveal of Supergirl. We got our first official trailer. So we finna check it out on stream and see what James Gunn got going on. Let's see if the gun's still loaded, chat. I'm I'm excited. I fuck with Lobo. He said this is gonna be the first movie where I'm gonna. Well, actually, because I read the book. Yeah, I got the book. I just bought it like a couple weeks ago. I'm literally saving it. I bought the hard copy. I'm literally saving it. I'm gonna read it like a week or two before it comes out. That way it's like fresh in my brain. So he's not Aquaman no more. No, they reset the universe. Yeah, James Gunn, DC. Where you been at, bro? Wake up, bro. 2025, man. Wake up. James Gunn didn't direct this film. He didn't. It still looks good. I like the vibe of it. I liked all the space shit. From my understanding, she crashing out and finding herself. But yeah, wake up, man. They reset the universe, man. Snyder's not the director anymore. That's all I got for you. That's all I got. Clayface is getting a movie.